What year did you pass the bar?
2019.
Okay, so you've been an attorney like 14 months, 15 months now?
Yeah.
What has that been like?
Okay, so it's been really hard, and I feel like people don't. It's like you hear that, but until you experience it, it's hard because you feel like you should. You are an attorney and you should be practicing, and like you want to know all the answers, and that really just takes time. The learning curve is really steep for attorneys, and it's that first year I was really impatient, like with that. And like, I was just, if I was trying to write a brief, it just felt so much, it like took me so much more time than I wanted it to. It would, that was just really frustrating. And like, you're kind of constantly making mistakes. Like new attorneys make mistakes like often. And like, you hope that you work with people that are like going to teach you to be better. And that way you can be, consistently improving in your job. And I feel like after that first year, you really do. You're like, okay, I've done discovery enough. I know how to do this now. I know how to organize doc review projects. I know how to write a motion. Like I know how to argue a motion in court. Like, and all those things, you get nervous, but it does get easier with time for sure.
Do you remember the first time you went to court?
Yes.
What was it? What did you go to court for?
So I counsel on a case. Let me back up. So I wrote an ex parte application for a case that I'm working on, and it was my first time writing a motion front to back with no one's input. So I got to write that motion and then go, and since it was an ex parte hearing, it was like we filed it one day and then it was heard the next day. So I got to go and, go to court and I was surprised because opposing counsel did show up and they did oppose it and they did argue. And it was, I had been practicing that oral argument so many times walking around my apartment. So it did feel like second nature by the time I kind of got up in front of the judge. But yeah, no, it's really nerve-wracking at first, but I did moot court in law school. I feel like that like really helped prepare me because you literally have to go argue in front of a judge for moot court. So, it was a great experience. I mean, I won the motion, so it was a great experience, but like I probably would have been like, oh man, like gotta be resilient had it not gone my way. Yeah.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. My first time in court with a case management conference, which to me was like a big deal at the time, but yeah, it was definitely nerve wracking.
Yeah,
I can't imagine having a motion for the first time.
Oh yeah. It's funny. You forget how formal court is. And I feel like that's almost something I was like, God, don't forget how formal this is. You have to address the judge, Your Honor, and like be very courteous and polite and like speaking like that. I don't know if it's because I'm younger and I am like newly out of law school, and if that stuff gets easier, but I'm just not used to speaking like that in such a formal tone. So that'll be interesting, like as I improve on that going forward.
Yeah. What is your favorite part about being a lawyer?
Well, all the cliche things, obviously. Like I love helping our clients not make their dreams come true, but like, I'm a cannabis business attorney. I handle litigation and cannabis compliance issues. And I love that, like, that first client consult call when they're like telling us they're like, look, this is my dream. I want to do this. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm like putting, all my savings on the line. This is what I want to do. Like, can you help me do it? And like help working with them to like really make that happen. It's a lot of fun. Like I care about my industry a lot, and like I want to provide good counsel for our clients. And as hard as litigation is, it really is, it means a lot to me to be able to support our clients through some really dark days through litigation. A lot, business litigation can be very contentious. So even though it's like hard on the lawyers, it's it's gratifying to really be doing a good job for our client because we really care.
Why did I know that you went out of your way to pick this firm to work at for? What made you to pursue working in the cannabis industry?
Yeah, I thought I honestly I wanted to be a part of, we're here in San Francisco. I wanted to be a part of how California was really like paving the way to like create the largest commercial cannabis industry in the world. And and honestly, California is messing up all the time with their cannabis regulations and how everything's implemented. But like, I really just wanted to learn about it, and I was really interested and passionate in it. I'm passionate about entrepreneurship as a callback to what I was telling you about where I went to undergrad. I've always just really been excited about, people, working really hard to achieve their dreams. And I really loved that about like cannabis just felt like the most entrepreneurial industry. It's a different skill set to be counseling clients in an industry that's like newly formed, and a lot of the regulations are constantly changing. And I really like that about it. I think it makes us as attorneys have to be more creative, and you really just have to be on top of the changing legal landscape. Yeah, and I love our client. Our clients are really passionate people. I think the people in the cannabis industry are just, they are passionate about cannabis, and I love learning about it through them. And yeah, so that's a big reason about why I wanted to go in the cannabis industry, the cannabis legal industry after graduating.